Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, this is so nice and peaceful. Man, this is awesome. Into wherever this place is. Let me go ahead and adjust this microphone. Okay, this microphone is finally adjusted. Guess everything's good. At least for the time being. Man, we went really far away. Uh-oh. I don't like this. Okay. Gold, and then we have this cutscene. Okay. You walk through the door and examine the hall. Every inch of the place, every bit as dusty as the castle and hospital. No sign of life. You think to yourself, this is the last stop. Schuster has to be around here somewhere. Suddenly, you hear a voice. You recognize it. It's the voice of the strange mechanical monster you encountered in the sanitarium. You can't pinpoint where the voice is coming from. It echoes through the hall. When you are going to stop playing games? No, when are you going to stop playing games with us? He asked. Confused, you responded. Us? Who is us? Where are you? He sighs. You still haven't figured it out. Most realize what is happening by now. You're not making our job any easier. We've given you just about everything you needed for you to snap. But you're resistant. At this point, you lose your patience. Nothing has made sense since you've arrived at the castle. What the F-U-C-K are you talking about? Why have I not gotten any answers from you or Marlene? Since I got here, I've seen things my own eyes had trouble believing even outside. This place is impenetrable. It's like it's trapping me inside. And then all of those monsters. When will it end? The voice lets out a light chuckle. They look like monsters to you. You should take a look. No way, dude. They're literally doing the Silent Hill 3 thing. The scene in like the library, I think, with Heather and that guy with the glasses. And he says, and then when she says like they're monsters, he says, they look like monsters to you? And I'm like, bro. Oh my goodness. That's like kind of a direct quote, or it's at the very least derived from that. Yourself for Marlene. Well, I'm surprised her very presence hasn't brought some sense to you. You need more work. You can't live in your personal fantasy forever. This is not the last stop. And with that, the voice ceases. You sit on one of the benches and think over what was said. I have to find the last golden apple. I know it's here somewhere. I know it. Why? Why do you have to find a golden apple? I don't get it. Wow, how convenient for the Minecraft scary sound effects to happen. Okay. Don't have it. The confession booth. Can't get in there yet. Oh, no way. A coffin. It looks like a funeral was taking place. Nice. I like these bones. I like the way that they're positioned. I might take a few. I'm kidding. All right. We can't go over here. Ooh. Yeah. Who cares about that spot? It's likely going to be over here somewhere. Daycare center. Okay. The room smells nauseatingly of burnt flesh. Nauseating. I think that's what he said. Okay. Wolfgang. What? Wolfgang? That looks like a puzzle. I'm afraid. Wolfgang had lived his entire life in poverty. The harsh living conditions he endured through childhood and into early adulthood caused him to have to restore resort to stealing from upper class citizens just to survive day to day. Unfortunately, he wasn't very good at it, and he was frequently caught as a child. He was labeled the village troublemaker, but as he got older, he started spending more and more time in prison. During his last sentence, he shared a cell with a witch, an ugly old hag, but one with decades of knowledge and experience. Wolfgang befriended the witch and over the course of the many months they remained jailed, the hag taught him all about alchemy. In particular, she told him how to create a tunic that would turn him from a subbar thief into a legendary thief. Upon being released from prison, he saved every piece of gold he could, searched every cave, every dungeon he could, until he had all of the ingredients he needed. After weeks of preparation, he was ready to create the potion of invisibility. First, he boiled some water, then applied a strange, otherworldly fungus called a netherwort, which he purchased from a black market dealer in the underbelly of the nearby town of Ort der Stelle. Next, he added a carrot covered in the very gold he had saved for weeks. It was worth the money, he thought. Finally, a fermented spider eye, taken from a giant archend found in a nearby cave that had taken the lives of many adventurers. With that, he created the invisibility potion. He would use it to pull off the greatest heist of his life. A few nights later was the night of the ball at the castle, a get-together of all the higher-ups within the province. It was a multi-night affair, and each attendant would be staying in their own rooms. So there Wolfgang went. He drank the potion and carefully walked in between crowds of heavily guarded political figures. Over the course of a few hours, he had snuck into nearly every bedroom and stolen the belongings of just about every important figure in the country. No one saw him, no one heard him, but they knew he was there. That night, Wolfgang became a legendary thief, a fable to most, and it changed his life forever. Wow. Whoa. That was such an epic story. I don't know what that story's all about, but okay, let's get going. Don't know if that story is actually useful for anything. A library. Cool. No eating in the library. Okay, if you say so. Many of my own books are here, but they're all blank. The titles remain, but no writing on the pages. Oh. Okay. So all your books are here, but there is nothing in your books? Interesting. How unfortunate. Am I right? Okay, we got the golden carrot. So I guess we're going to be trying to make the invisibility potion. Unlikely hero. What the? Wow. That is honestly a really crazy sword. That's a crazy sword. 50 gold? I don't have enough. Yikes. Okay, well, that's too bad. We're going to continue on. Father Menford. Okay. I'll take everything you got in here. Menford's diary. Let's take a read. I visited the prison yesterday. Oh my goodness, I hate myself. I visited the prison today. An inmate named Frank Ellis requested to speak with a priest, so I was asked. Needless to say, this is one of the more interesting meetings I've had with someone. I walked into a small room. The walls were bare. A small table in the center. At one end sat Frank. He looked as if he weren't exactly having a good time as of late. His prison uniform was noticeably tattered and dirty. He looked unwashed and smelled it too. his beard thick and hair long. This was definitely a man who deserved whatever came his way. Wow, I don't know, man. I think you're being pretty harsh. I sat down. He politely greeted me. He was bound to the chair with chains, hands tied. He was no threat to me. Before I had a chance to say anything, he first began with an apology to God. He wanted to be forgiven for his sins, and he walked his family to rest in peace. What he told me next was something I had heard about before, but never from the mouth of the person who experienced it. He told me that in the few minutes he had died following the events that led to his imprisonment. He thought he was still alive. Elias, being a painter, said that the world he existed in took the form of a painting. Everything in his environment looked as if it had been created by the stroke of a brush. He said that looking back, he remembers seeing his family, his friends. Only at the time he didn't know who they were. He said that they had taken different roles from what they were to him in real life. They acted differently. They didn't know him either. He described it as being dreamlike. Every aspect of the dream reflecting something in his life. Everything was okay, though. He felt at peace. That didn't last long, though, as his dream took a turn for the worst. When he was forced to witness the death of his family over and over again, forced to relive those moments, piling on the guilt. Oh my goodness, I can't read this stuff. At this point, he was brought back to life by the medical staff at the hospital. I'm a believer, he says. The doctors and authorities don't believe him, but I do. However, I still have many questions before I can put together a solid conclusion as to what this phenomenon was. Okay. Imagine a monster just pops up here. That'd be crazy. Speaking of that, be crazy, look at that. This is honestly nice. We got the confession booth key. We can confess for our sins. Confess our sins. Heck yeah, I can't wait. Oh, we can't confess our sins? Okay. That's unfortunate. Alright, cutscene 6. You enter the booth. It's cramped, silent. After a few seconds, you begin to hear a man slightly sobbing on the other side. You know you've heard the voice before, but you can't quite remember where. The voice begins, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I've done terrible, terrible things in my life, but I never wanted it to come to this. I never wanted it to go this far. I thought I was in control, but I lost it. I have problems, and I need guidance. I need forgiveness. I need you to help me through this. She's dead, and it's all my fault. I know I've never believed in you much, but I'm turning to you now because I've realized that everything begins and ends with you." He continues sobbing. You listen. Then he begins again. "God, forgive me. Guide me." Disgusted with the man, you responded, "You've made your decision. You've committed atrocious crimes and you deserve to suffer." The sobbing stops. The room falls into dead silence for about 10 seconds, but it felt like years. Suddenly, the man speaks again, no longer crying, his voice stiff with a layer of authoritative confidence. "You are ready." He doesn't say another word. You see a lever on the floor. You pull it and make your way to the unmarked door on the right side of the chapel. Okay. I'm assuming that man is probably us. I think that man is us. Oh no, this room seems... Well, do what you do best.